Welcome to another edition of the Empower Hour. I am Alqamar.
And I'm Hanifah.
And we're here coming to you once again, another Wednesday at 2 p.m. with another impactful topic of discussion. Today we'll be talking about the women of Wakanda. What does all that entail? With our super duper special studio guest, Miss Wessita, with Sistas United. Yay. If you guys join us each and every week, I know you're familiar with this name because she is always a loyal listener and watcher of the program. And not only that, she's a really good friend of the behind the scenes here at the Empower Hour, everybody here. So Sister Wessita has an organization, Sistas United, and she is always representing.
As you should.
So we thought, what better woman to come and share the platform with us, talking about the powerful women of Wakanda, than you, Sister Wessita. Share with the audience a little bit about what you do, who you are, your organization, a little bit.
Okay, just real quick. I am Wessita, and I am the founder of Sistas United, a grassroots, I take pride in that, grassroots nonprofit located right here in Capitol Heights, Maryland, but we serve the entire DMV and the world if needed. Been going strong for 20 plus years without a grant, and I always give God the praise. We could not do what we do without any money if it was not a higher being guiding, leading, and putting stuff in place. So we help anybody, anywhere, at any time. And it's all for free.
I love it.
And so that's one of the hats that I wear. I also make sure I work with the Capital Area Food Bank, and I make sure that our senior citizens in Washington, D.C. are taken care of monthly with free food and healthy produce. Get away from the canned goods, healthy produce. That's another hat that I wear. And then now I'm excited this Friday here at Everlasting Life. My daughter and I have joined forces, a mother and daughter team, and we have created what's called Bella Bee Beauty. And we will provide to the world 100% all natural beauty line products, you know, for skin, face, and hair. Beautiful. You can read the ingredients, pronounce them. So when I say natural, that's important. You gotta be recognized what you're putting into your skin and on your hair and all of that. Right. So my daughter, praise be to God, who's a student at Shippensburg. Shout out to Shippensburg. She might be listening. But this Friday we're going to do the launching. We're very excited about that. All and right. Then I'm always willing and able and ready to help anybody at any time for our race. I'm unapologetically a strong black woman, and I take pride in that. Thank God for that.
Beautiful, beautiful. You want to jump in?
No.
You good?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
My phone is acting up, but yeah.
Okay.
Family, if you the lines are open today, all day. So the whole hour, I should say. If you want to call in and join at any point in this discussion, just dial the number 240-455-5934. That's 240-455-5934, and we'll get you right on into the discussion. We're going to talk more too later on about what you have going on as well.
Cool.
Here this Friday, which is so exciting.
Oh yeah, we're all excited.
Yeah, but of the women of Wakanda, who was your guys' favorite character? Who was your favorite, Wessita?
Oh my goodness. I'm just still in awe by everything. You know, I really don't know. I can't really pinpoint one. Each character gave me something that I can relate to and aspire to be. So I just love them all. I give them all a standing ovation.
Yeah. It was a very well put together cast.
Without a doubt, you know.
How about you, Hanifah?
Well, I liked Okoye because I liked her fierceness, you know, her sense of loyalty. But I could appreciate Nakia because I have a lot of her in me, where you have these heartstrings and it's hard to put the kingdom above people type situation. And I've always been like that. And then I love Suri, because she was really the brain behind the whole operation. So I could.
She was the young
Yes,
sister.
the princess.
Sister.
The princess.
Yes,
One who ran the science lab.
She was the
Exactly.
princess. Yeah.
The new
Okay.
millennium.
So I could appreciate her as well. But in looking at all of them, I could think of so many different women that I know, you know, that either have a combination of all three and plus, or specifically, you know, one of them is their strong area. So I went back to where all of us we may have our female woman cliques, you know, everyone has like their sister circles, and every circle has an Okoye ready to go to war for the circle.
That's us.
What she said? Yeah. But there's always one, you know, where just ready, just always have a spare.
Exactly.
You be like, relax. You know, we're not here to fight today, you know? But I thought about that, how every circle of women have, and every circle of women can tell you who that sister is.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's her.
Right.
Like, just ready to go, you know?
Right.
And then you have every circle has one who is just solely intellect, like a brilliant mind, you know? And you'd be like, you know, when you're sitting down talking with your friends, you'd be like, well, you should know this, because they're deemed the smart one.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly. What do you think?
Right. And then you have the humanitarian, which is Nakia, you know?
The Mother Teresa's, that's what I call you.
Yeah, the Mother Teresa's, yes.
People who tune in to us and used to be right, look at Mother Teresa.
Yes, the Mother Teresa's, I agree. And then, again, in every circle you'll find them as well. Where it's like, they're always trying to make peace.
Yeah.
You know, or make it work one way or the other.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I love it. What about the mom? What was her name in the movie?
I cannot think of
Angela
the mom's
Bassett?
name. Yeah, right, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mama Angie.
Okay.
But
That's
I don't know what her name was. Looked it up. But she didn't have as much. She has more of a presence than anything else. You know what I mean?
the matriarch.
Yeah, it's like that presence of strength, you know, that's non-vocal. You know, that presence of encouragement, because that's sort of what she was really there for, in supporting the king, letting him know you can do it.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, her presence was a little different from the other three characters that we just spoke about. Nonetheless, it was just as strong.
Yeah. Okay, I love that breakdown. Yeah, Okoye was also my favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No doubt.
I can
no
see
doubt.
that.
She was just fierce.
She
was fierce. She was dynamite. You know, she
She
was
was.
up front. She was bold about it.
Yes.
She's unapologetic.
Yeah, you know, warrior
My kind
comes
of
About
sister.
her
through.
loyalty to the throne. At the end of the day, it was like, that's what I'm here for.
But
Right.
you know what I found? I found the loyalty part, the aspect was overwhelming in the whole framework of that movie.
And it was something we don't see that every day.
Yeah,
Even
right.
you notice it's like, regardless of who's on the throne, we have to be loyal to our country.
Right.
That part really stood out to me.
Right.
You know, they may not have liked who was on the throne,
Yeah.
or that wasn't their choice, but they looked beyond that and they saw the bigger picture. And
But
that's what I love.
That's interesting, because there was this whole controversy around what was her name? Queen Ramonda. Yeah. What was her name? You might know her, Wessita. She's a Christian preacher. Paula. White lady, sharp petite.
Paula White.
Yes, Paula White. There was a big controversy around her. Was it Paula White? Yeah. I was
Paula White.
talking about Trump is chosen by God. And you were talking about that, where there are people who, there are people who is like, and most of the people that I know that are like that are Christians, because the church I used to go to, it was the same kind of rhetoric that you would hear, where it's just you respect the presidency, no matter who the person is.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost similar to that, where it's, for her it's like,
Right.
I'm loyal to this throne.
Yeah.
For the people that I
the
know who are
people.
Christian, it's like, I'm loyal to God, and that's who He's chosen. You know what I mean?
Right.
So on one end, you have people like, I like Okoye's loyalty, but then will blast someone like a Paula White, who has that same sense of loyalty to who she would say is her heavenly Father, because He has chosen whoever sits. Yeah. I found that interesting as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think we can learn from these fictional characters?
Oh my God, I learned so much that I want to see it again and again and again, because it's one of those type of movies that each time you see it, I truly believe you're going to learn something new each time you see it. And like for me, I learned that loyalty piece is positive, because I learned to look at loyalty different ways, you know, because sometimes we're like, if we don't like it, we ain't gonna be loyal. You know what I mean? So that loyalty piece was so cool. Then I love the fact that you know, the sister Nakia, she understood that she may have loved that man, but her mission that God gave her in her heart was first.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Sometimes we go astray of what God created us to be or do for the sake of love or whatever. But she made it clear to the brothers, not that I really don't want to be with you, but I have to do this, you know. And so that was powerful to me, to be so dedicated to your calling.
Yeah.
That's something that stood out.
And what I admired too was that he, the brother actually respected that.
Yes, he did.
He respected that
Yes.
mission. It wasn't no, you know, you mind you coming with me, or no, you know, putting the foot down, or he was, you know, he he respected her role in society.
Exactly.
I heard that there was a preacher that said, Cindy Trim actually, that said, and it always stuck with me, she was preaching, I think it was in D.C., and she said, loneliness is the absence of purpose. And I always remember that, because you're talking about love, where sometimes we want companionship, and you know, and it's important, but you will if you don't have a sense of purpose, you will sacrifice all just to have someone by your side. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and oftentimes it's loneliness that's driving that. You know, loneliness that's driving that whole, I need to just get someone just to say I have someone, so that I can eliminate this loneliness. But what really was the void that you're experiencing is not the lack of a person, but the lack of your purpose.
Exactly.
Good point.
Yeah.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think because what happens is when you don't have a sense of purpose, you absorb yourself in other people's purpose.
You take on it.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
Right, and so that's why other, you know, people that, you know, you become so ingrained and attached, you know, so, you know, the loneliness is relieved, I would imagine, by kind of attaching yourself to other people's purpose as opposed to having your own.
But you also find that let's say the void has a shape. Let's say the shape of the void is a triangle, right? And only a triangle can fit in there. So you trying to fill that void with a person who is a square,
right?
You find this is where the frustration comes in, because to be honest, that person is not really the issue. It's not what's missing. It's really your purpose being fulfilled, and you walking in that is what's missing. But you have mistaken that void, you have mistaken that for I need to have someone to be complete. You know, that's why this whole thing as far as like wholeness, I'm like, balance, you know, that's 100% straight up, you know.
Could it be that's why so many of us get so crushed, you know, when you know, when that balance, when that relationship doesn't work out, and then that person becomes like devastated.
Because can we love without expectation? And I'm finding that's a challenge for most of us. We come in, it's like, I love you, Wessita, right? But I'm saying I love you just straight, right? But really behind the scenes, which is in my thought process, is the expectation is reciprocity, right? Of the same value, right? The same degree. And so if you come up short, now I'm frustrated with you, and that's because I had an expectation from the jump. But if I just come in and say I love you because you're a person, you know, you're a good sister, forget good sister, just because you're another human being,
right?
You know, and I have no expectations for you to love me back or to give me something. Then no matter what you do, at the end of the day, I just want to see you happy, whether that's with me or not. You understand?
Right. I understand totally. Exactly.
Peace of mind.
Exactly. And I think what happens is a lot of times people have to understand we were created for a purpose. And many of us have no clue what our purpose is. We have no clue what God created us to be. So if you know what your gifts are, count yourself blessed. So many times that we have to understand that when you even think about walking away from what your calling is, your spirit will become troubled.
That's right.
Your spirit,
on that.
your spirit is going to become troubled. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's imperative, it's vital that you know what your purpose is in life, what you were created to do, and stay the course. God will eventually put what you need for you to continue that course.
That's right.
See, we begin to try to fit things in what we need, think what we need.
And fear.
Hello.
Fear is a big one.
Oh,
Fear
wow.
is a big one. I
Yes.
remember some years back, I was in the church at this time, and there was a sister, her heart was missions. And she had a heart for missions, and missions mean travel, and missions mean you probably out the country for a couple of years, and we were called to pray for each other, and I just kind of like received a word to give her, and the word pretty much was that she was afraid of not having a husband and family like she expect to, and I had to like talk to her. Of course I prayed for her, but I had to also talk to her, almost like prophesy and say, you know, if that's your purpose, you will find him in those missions. Like, you're good, you know. But she was holding on to America because she had narrowed it down to, this is where I'm going to find my husband and my family, not really expanding her thinking as far as that, you know, that coming into her space. Yeah, it was very interesting. So there's a lot of fear. So seeing someone like Okoye that's so loyal and so sure about who they are, that's the other thing. She was absolutely sure. I am a soldier. This is what I do.
Right.
Was refreshing. It's refreshing to see that. And it's encouraging, like you said, like, you know, it's okay to be loyal to whatever your purpose is.
Right.
I know Koya had a boo.
Yeah.
She had a little boo. You know?
She did.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
But she had to be what God created her to be.
Yeah.
She had to do what God told her to do.
But he wasn't her top priority either.
Exactly.
Because she told him, I would turn and
She had a
for
life.
Wakanda. Period.
She had a life.
Yeah.
You know,
he
she had a
wasn't her
life.
top, you know. So
You know.
that was refreshing to see. I think that was important. That scene where he was like, you would really fight me?
Try me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was-
Yeah, that was and he
Self-assurance.
right.
Yes.
And he kind of just knew, like, all right, respect. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? No love lost, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny when you bring that up about the sister who was trying to hold on to America. And I think a lot of us do that in so many different facets of our lives. We try to fit within the framework of society versus what our spirits and our beings are encouraging us to do.
And when the
hence where the struggle comes.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And we have to understand and keep things real. See, we're in a day and age where we need to stop sugarcoating, stop acting like things don't exist. I think the freedom comes when we say, you know what, this is reality here. Let's deal with it. You know, people walking around and putting the blind eye, you know, looking to the left when you should be looking to the right.
Right.
You know, we need to start calling things out for what they are, who they are, and dealing with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the reality is America was not intending us to really be where we are today. Let's keep that real.
Oh, no doubt.
Why do we keep wanting to assimilate into a society that really does not care about African ancestry or its people? Now, I know some people watching this probably like spazzing out, oh my God, no, she didn't say that. Yes, I did. We keep us trying to assimilate into something that was not intended for us.
But think about it this way also. If that is all that's presented to you, you think that that's your only option,
That's
what
all you
happens?
know.
Yes, what happens is you feel like I have no other choice but to disfigure my thinking, myself, to fit in that, because that is the only option. A lot of times, whether we believe it or not, a lot of our people don't have passports. Okay, a lot of our people are not traveling. Okay, I was listening to a thing on Malcolm X was saying that you automatically begin to expand your thinking and your perception of the world just from traveling.
That's right.
Just by exposing your mind to new places, new people, new food, new experiences. A lot of our people don't have that, right? So America is the only option in their mind. Right, it's not true, but in their mind. So what happens is, if that's your only option, you're going to have to figure it out. You know what I mean? So you're trying to find a way of, then I have to figure out a way to fit. And this is why people are stressed.
Yes, they are
frustrated, and because, like you said, it's not made for us to fit in it.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. But at the same time, sis, with media, internet. Different races, different cultures, right here in our own backyard. We have to. People have to understand. You have to seek knowledge. It's not going to come to you if you are a Black American in America.
Right.
In order to really learn of who you really are, you have to seek it. It ain't gonna come to you. It's not gonna be taught in public schools.
Actually, they say the goal is, the mission is to keep you from it.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, so we have to. I love this show because it's very informative, where people can tune in and get something that they have never encountered before. They can learn some knowledge. They can see people. I mean, we all at this table know thyself. So it's like somebody sitting
and
on
still getting to know
every day, because knowledge is an everyday thing. As long as you breathe,
forever,
and there you have it. You should be wanting to expand and grow every day. But people on the outside watching us, somebody might say, "Well, look at those sisters. They're doing it. They're not afraid. What's the difference between me and them?" Only difference between us is, number one, we seek knowledge. We try to connect with people that are like-minded. We pick up a book, you know, go to a positive movie. Here at Everlasting Life, every Friday night is a free movie. You can come to learn of thyself. So it's not that they can't be exposed to knowledge and truth. They have to want to proactively seek it.
And I agree. And I think for most of us, we have to go beyond the knowledge into the experience. Because I'm finding that that's what's lacking oftentimes. We have the knowledge, a lot of us have the knowledge. Now to put that knowledge to use and to put it into action is where we're coming up short. So the knowledge is out there, which is a starting point. I agree.
Right.
But it goes much further, because there's nothing like reading about Africa. Reading about Africa is good, but there's nothing like experience in Africa.
Exactly.
You can't compare the two. There's no comparison.
It is. It's totally.
You know
different.
what I mean? It's like me hearing about Southeast DC, and I hear about it, and I'm living in New York, and I'm like, man, and all I can do is really dream about it. Now the imagination is powerful. You know, I'm not even gonna be dismissive about that. And, you know, kind of like, you know, minimize the impact of just imagining, because you can imagine and begin to taste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like actually have the taste of
power
something.
of the mind.
The power of the
The power of
mind.
the
So I'm
mind.
not even trying to like dismiss that, but eventually I have to want to go to DC.
Exactly.
I need to get there.
Exactly.
So that I can connect with the people and really connect with the
and
culture.
have that
And you know what I mean?
Right,
So
exactly.
all of
Food.
And so I agree with you as far as seeking knowledge.
It's seeking the knowledge.
Yeah.
I know, because I'm a veteran. I'm ex-military, Air Force, and I know my first time to Germany. And when I went in America, all I heard was Germans didn't like black folks. You know, they didn't like black folks. I heard that they thought that black people at midnight, you know, grow tails. You know, I was crazy.
Really?
Yeah. They think black folks at midnight grew tails.
Wow.
You know, I think that's a Hitler thing told them that, you know. So here I am, a young sister by myself. I'm going to Germany, okay? So I hit the land, right? Man, everything that America told me about Germany, my experience as a black woman, man, I was treated like a queen.
Wow.
Had the greatest time of my life.
Right.
Now, if I had listened to America culture and America
You'd stayed
propaganda on TV
Right.
and American books and American teachers in our public schools, I'd have been like, oh my God, you sending me to hell. And I literally went to Germany, had a great time. The food, the culture, the people, treated like a queen.
I heard Germany was like the cleanest country on earth.
That was pretty clean.
That's what I heard from some who
I still have a lot more of the world to travel, but I would say that it was. And then also, then later on in life, my daughter in school, she had roommates that were from Germany, so they came and stayed at our house. We hosted 2 German students. And let me tell y'all this. It was kind of funny, but I finally broke the ice and said, look, we're going to just break the ice. We're going to talk. We're going to ask us anything. First of all, they were shocked when they came to our house. They were looking around, and they looked at the car. And I could tell the tension was there. And I said, okay, we're going to break this right now. Whatever you want to know. So it was so funny. One of them said, well, we've been here the first day. And I said, what is it? She said, nobody said the B word. And I was like, what are you getting that from? She said, I watched American television and all the black women call each other bees.
Wow.
And then of course, I had to go into lesson mode and let them know that's Hollywood. That is not the true representation of real black queens. We don't address. So that was a great opportunity. Some people might go, oh, you let some German people in your house? I was able, when they left us, they knew the positive, strong, intellectual, beautiful, articulate, educated black people that exist. Not just today, but they knew about my ancestors, the civil rights, and as far as I could take them back.
Beautiful.
So we have to take each moment, instead of looking at it as a bad thing or I'm not going to deal with it. Think about, I want people to start retraining their minds. How can I take any incident that happens to me and make it into a life learning lesson that I myself learn and then can also educate others?
But and because the truth be told, every incident, every experience is a life learning lesson and is an opportunity to grow. It's all about your perception of it. So yes, there's just like we're talking about Black Panther, the scene with Okoye in her love. I would have preferred to not have to see the black man and the black woman in that position where they have to face off like that. I would prefer not to see that. But then I also was able to see her sense of loyalty in that interaction. So it's all about, we could choose what we want to focus on. Or we can see both, and see them for what they are. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, family, if you're just joining us, this is the Empower Hour, where we take one busy hour out of your midweek and come to you with impactful topics of discussion. We're talking about the women of Wakanda with Sister Wessita, with Sistas United, here with us. If you want to join the discussion via telephone, call us at 240-455-5934. We're going to jump right into the promos and share with you briefly what some upcoming events are coming up here at Everlasting Life Vegan Restaurant and Lounge, located at 9185 Central Avenue in Capitol Heights, Maryland. 7 days a week. Come on and join us here. Children's Night. Each and every Thursday night, children eat free from 6 to 9 p.m. as long as they're accompanied by an adult. Again, Children's Night. So they come, they have a really good time. Our very own Chris Mary heads that event up. And it's always a fun time for the children. So bring them out for that. Dinner and a movie. Each and every Friday night, normally from 7 to 9 p.m., unless we have something special, a special movie going on that evening, like this coming Friday. Sister Wessita, you want to jump in the show, tell them what's going on?
Oh, yeah, I'm just so excited about this Friday night. I want everyone that's listening to my voice to come out to Everlasting Life this Friday night, 6:30 p.m. sharp. We will be showing Dinner and the Movie. The movie will be the award-winning Get Out.
Get Out.
Yes, Get Out. So if you have not seen it or have seen it and want to see it again, come on out and join us at 6:30 p.m. sharp. We're like Tyler Perry, 6:30, lights go down, and the movie begins. Yeah. But in the meantime, from 3 to 9 right here at Everlasting Life, Bella B Beauty LLC will be making its business debut. That is a business between myself and my daughter, mother and daughter team, and Bella B Beauty. We have a 100% all natural product line for the skin, face, and hair, making sure that you are getting quality products into your system. Be careful when you're going out here buying stuff, and look at the back label. If you can't read it, put it back on the shelf.
I love it.
So that's going to take place. We'll be here from 3 to 9 for that, and then the dinner and a movie. And many people have date night, and I told them, come on out here to date night. And even if you don't have a date, come on out here. You never know, you might find a date. You have a lasting life, you find everything.
Yep, and that and the discussion follows that movie too. So we'll be discussing the movie Get Out Friday. So come on, join us for that. And then first Saturdays of every month, we do the Black Wall Street Renaissance, where we take vendors, different vendors come out to share their wares and their products and services, and then we have a lecture. So Garth Vickers is going to be headlining the stage for us this coming first Saturday. He specializes in he's a financial guru.
Financial literacy?
Yes, thank you. Financial literacy. So he's going to be talking to us about how to invest in yourself. So so that should be a really good. That should be
really good.
Yeah, that lecture starts at 2, from 2 to 4 p.m. And then every third Saturday of the month, we do fresh marketplace where you can come get fresh produce and natural supplements and herbs and spices and vegan groceries. And we do things such as cooking classes and other demonstrations as well. That takes place here from 11 to 4 p.m. every third Saturday of the month. eLife Studios right here, as you see what we're doing here. We have openings, positions available for all types of in front of the camera and behind the camera activities. So if you're interested in coming and starting your own show, we're doing a special for a limited time, only $25 an hour. So if you see this program and you think that you have a voice out there that needs to be heard by a wider audience, and you want to get, some information out there to the people, $25 an hour, family. You cannot beat that anywhere.
Wow.
We can guarantee you. Look around. You're not going to find that price for some quality programming at that price. So contact us for more information on that. And then I'm here. My schedule has changed a bit. So Wednesdays through Saturday, you can find Malik's Fashions and Jewelry and Accessories right here in the lounge area. So come on out, check me out for that. What's funny? And Hanifah, she also makes jewelry as well.
No, I'm just laughing. Your schedule really changed. Okay.
I'm
like, what?
I know,
Wednesday.
right?
Okay. Yeah. If you wanna check my jewelry out, you can see them on shopthingsforthejourney.com. That's shopthingsforthejourney.com. I tend to make a lot of really eccentric, colorful, bright statement pieces, mostly earrings. I've introduced some bangle sets, and I'm getting ready to introduce some multi-layered, charm bracelets. Yeah, so just mostly bright and vibrant colors. And summer is coming. So,
I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the Facebook family have anything to share?
Yeah, not really. We only have Jabel. He says, "Oh snap, peace. I won't say nothing this time because I love Okoye." He already had something he wanted to say, and that's okay. We want you to kind of have a conversation with us, so please don't hold back.
Okay. So I wonder how the Africans on the continent view this movie. I'm so curious.
Some clips.
That's a good question. I've thought about the same thing. How are they viewing
how the movie was portrayed?
I see some clips of the showings in parts of the continent. Yeah. And it was positive feedback. But I've also talked to Africans here. And one in particular was telling me, this was a guy, he was just pretty much saying like, that movie I felt was more for kids or people who don't understand exactly how much resources Africa actually have. And he was just explaining to me, like, okay, for example, you have a vibranium that they're saying only Wakanda possessed, and he's like, there are parts of Africa that produce certain resources, certain things that you can't find anywhere else in the world,
right.
you know.
A lot.
So he was kind of breaking that down. He's like, some of us already, know that. So he's like, but it was good entertainment. You know, he wasn't negative. He was just saying, like, it's not for everyone is not going to take it the same.
Yeah.
He wasn't like jumping for joy
Right.
over it, but he watched it with his kids, and their reaction was well worth it.
Yeah, like what is it? Cobalt, what is it that the metal that they need in order to make cell phones, and you can only find it in the Congo. Well, as of yet, you can only find it in the
As of right.
right in the Congo. Hence
much
that
to
big
discover.
war and that big genocide that went on. Couple
It's
of
usually over
decades ago.
resources. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we don't even recognize a lot of things that we do on a daily basis cannot even be done if it wasn't for, the resources that Africa holds.
Well, it said it'd never be in America if it wasn't for Africa. We need to always understand
Parts
that
of the world will collapse.
there would
Some
never
countries.
be in America.
I think they all would.
Yeah.
They
Who do you
all
think
would.
built America?
Mhm.
And that's why I'm constantly, telling people, pick up a book, learn who we are. If you learn about inventors, oh my God, when you see all that black folk have done,
Yeah.
you take all that out of America, what you gonna have?
The name of the thing is Colton.
Colton. Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Colton.
Yeah. So it's for me. Even I look at some of the remarks on Facebook, and some people was like, some people are hypocrites. Now they want to go buy this dashiki, or they wanted this. The way I see things is this: if this movie can spark anyone to even want to wake up, to learn more, then kudos to this movie.
Right.
We have to
felt
start
differently.
somewhere.
Right.
We have to start
I agree
somewhere.
with you.
know?
I also
because
think-
we're not going to get it in school, and let's be honest. Most black families aren't sitting at the dinner table talking about, our history and our ancestors on a daily and educating our kids. So if it takes a movie to spark some type of, I want to learn, I want to see, I want to feel, if that movie is just the spark,
Right. To gain some interest
then
in
so
African
be
culture.
it. Then so be it. Let's hear yours, because I see you
No,
shaking your
I
head.
feel a little bit different.
Okay, we wanna
about
hear your
that. I mean,
views.
and I agree, because I've heard many people state exactly what you're saying, and I can't disagree with that. Me personally, I saw it twice, but me watching it, I felt like it was more so for my son, because he's into like heroes, action heroes, and so I am just tired of our people that look like me, being so easily emotionally manipulated. There are many movies out there that can motivate our people. Many that have come in the past. We just had the one on A Birth of a Nation, for example. There are many. I think a lot of times I have seen our people being told what to like, what not to like, what to think, what not to think, and I am over the manipulation, me personally. So when I see something like Black Panther, the way it was pushed, and everybody's, and what bothers me is that we have these waves, right? So we up because it's the thing now. This is what we're supposed to do. It's almost like if you didn't go to support Black Panther, it's almost like they had the Black Panther Nazis all over the internet. If you had an opposing opinion about Black Panther, they was trying to bury you. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like you probably even haven't read the comic, but you're ready to take somebody else sniper style, because they have an opinion. So for me, I have an issue with that, because our people are very much like this up here, because this is the wave. Everybody jumps on it, and then it fades.
Right, and that's one of the things I said from the very beginning. After Wakanda is over, it's just like our marches. When the stars go home, the lights and cameras, CNN, and everybody go home. After the march, what then? So that's where we at, I think,
I
right
think
now.
that was my frustration around Black Panther, and not
Was
that
it?
the movie.
Okay.
I didn't have an issue with the movie, and I think I wanted
But
to
I
make that
understand.
clear.
But you made it,
being
and it
easily
makes sense.
swayed.
We
Easily
just saw,
swayed.
but Black Panther is just an example. Something
Right.
else will come up, and I'm
Yeah.
going to be like, see, that's what I mean right there. Because there have been many incidences where that has happened, or something comes up, or a march, or something like a Black Lives Matter, or you
Yeah.
know, and we just catch the wave because
Right,
it's
and
like
then
we
when the
think that's
lights
what
and
we're-
cameras and the stars go home.
and there's a lot of pressure also, I feel, for independent, for people who critically think or think independently, or maybe don't have the popular view of something in our community, because we're already a minority, right, in this country. So it's almost like if you are a Black person and you're like, yeah, I see like all these Black people are like on this train, but I can't ride it. You almost like go into silence, like you don't really want to say nothing because you don't want to seem like the party, you know, like
the Judas of the camp.
yeah, you know. And I'm like, no, we
Yeah,
right,
real.
yeah, because we will crucify each other.
Yeah,
Right.
no doubt.
Yeah, because it's like it's 10 Black people and you really want to be the only Black person that don't agree.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then you start getting called an Oreo and all that. Like there's a lot of pressure.
But
for
we do
that.
that.
But I understand.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking just for Black
Yeah.
Panther. I'm saying across the board.
But even
yeah.
a good example in Prince George's County, Maryland, we're coming up on a big election. Okay, my philosophy is get all their behinds out. I want everybody new. Everybody, I'm willing to take a chance because we have we move right now.
Drain the swamp.
You know, because right now they're moving one person from one seat and putting them in another seat. If they didn't do anything in this seat, why are we moving them to this seat?
Mind.
So right now, I want a clean slate. I want a clean slate. And people looked at me like I'm crazy. Certain people are running for certain office. I said, if they're running against Bozo, Bozo got my vote. I want clean. So I know I'm looking at as the oddball. There she go again. No. I'm serious. Clean them all out. Give a newcomer. What can a newcomer? If you already down the hill, what can a newcomer do?
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Let me
because,
say
sorry,
something, if y'all don't mind. Back to what you guys were discussing prior to you making that good point about. I think the benefit of this movie is that we can have these type of discussions.
Absolutely.
That
It
these
has
discussions
created
are
dialogue.
a lot of
to be
dialogue.
on the table. And I also think that the timing of this movie, I think a lot of us was just so desperate for some positive imagery of us on the
I agree.
screen.
We're desperate, period.
That we would,
We are desperate, period.
Right, that we so desperate
Yes,
to
ma'am.
see ourselves more than just, shaking our rumps and calling each other B's and N's and
Enough is enough.
slavery
Yeah.
and, putting on rags and
Exactly.
saying yes,
Exactly.
that we would rally.
We were looking for some hope, a ray
Right.
of hope. And
Right.
Black Panther was our ray of
Right.
hope.
Right, and that is my point. The desperation, because the perfect example would be the whole wave of healthy eating right now. What do you think these smart business people like McDonald's and so forth are doing? They're trying to jump on it because it's a money making move. So what I'm saying is, people exploit our desperation and they profit off of it.
I agree with you
So in other
100%.
words, I'm going to give them spoiled rice. Okay? The rice is not good, but I'm going to bleach it to where it looks a certain way appetizing, but it's still not good for them. But because they're so hungry, I know I can get them to eat this rice. And that's my only issue, the desperation of our people, that we jump on anything that looks black. Or anything that appears to be fully black, because and I get it. I get it. It's like we need to support each other. We're not only desperate, we're desperate to do something good together. So in other words, you don't want to not support a all black cast. Who wants to not do that?
Right.
You know what I mean? So my thing is, because of our desperation, we get played over and over and over.
Yeah, a good example is that $1 billion. Who gets that? Who gets the 5% lion's share of that $1 billion that we made. On this
but
movie.
love the film. Love the film itself.
Yeah.
Love Okoye. Love Nakia.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
Nakia.
I feel you.
Suri, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And my thing is like, when I saw Suri, I was like, there's so many kids right now in some of our what we call ghettos, in some of our schools that don't have the resources or don't have but has that brilliance. But if you put them in a lab, like how she had all of that access, they don't have access.
You know the part that I love when she had the shoes and she said, I think I'll call them sneakers. And right then and there I said, boom, before there ever was an American, before there ever was a thought, she was way back here talking about sneakers. You know, did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that in the movie?
So what is the process then, though? So if we are continuing to be exploited over and over again for our talents and skills, what is the process of going from this to having our own, for example?
I think in having our own is baby steps.
Is this part of the process though?
It could be. It could be. I won't dismiss it as not being. It could be a factor, like she said.
Like
it could be a stepping stone.
It's a start
for a lot of people. I agree.
Start.
You know what I mean?
It's a start because you got to have a starting base somewhere,
right?
Yeah.
And we have to understand. Every little step, let's start applauding and celebrating the little steps. We want to look at the big picture. We're not going to change in 400 years. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that.
We have to understand that the change is not going to happen overnight.
But the vision is the vision. The vision is the whole entire vision is the vision. We are all not seeing it at the same angle.
Exactly.
And what came to my mind, Alqamar, is when we did a discussion night here, and there was a older sister that had done a lot of different things in the black community. She was over talking. And we're going to meet people like that, that they've been active. They're like, okay, we need to do now, right?
Like
because we are all right. We are all at different extent. Exactly. So my response to Black Panther is my response, and it's just the way my mind is set up, right? Somebody else, like my son, you know, he is 6. I was glad I took him to see it. Yeah. So, and that's what I'm like, we need to have these conversations when, not because my opinion is so strong, it's not against the movie itself, it's against, we need to figure out how to get rid of this desperation to where we keep getting played. Exactly. Because somebody's profiting off of it, and it is not us.
I think that's where strong leadership comes in. Yeah. I think that's where strong leadership comes in. Because
and we are lacking that.
Because you have masses of the people, and if the masses of the people don't have strong leadership to help direct them in the proper channels where they cannot see, you know, a good leader has vision, you know, where a lot of people lack. They just simply don't have. And so if strong leaders are in place to be able to redirect, hey, we're not going this way because this way is danger. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when a lot of your leaders are killed by the enemy, they're destroyed, or you know, they destroy themselves in a lot of ways, then you have willy-nilly disarray.
I go back to when we had the discussion with what's his name? He was just on.
The guy,
Brother Imhotep, and he was talking about that. What's her name? Sunshine just said strong leadership starts with self, and he was talking about that and learning how to master self. Because the reality is, if I can't love me, I can't love you. Anyone that tries to lead me, you understand what I'm saying? So a lot of this starts with self. It's almost like teaching our people how to go within. You know what I mean? That's the difficult part, because from the time we're like young, from the time we're born into this world, we're taught to go to meet our needs outside of ourselves. Everything that we need have been told it's outside of us.
And the reality
including God.
And see, that's what I was about to say. We live in a society where black folks gravitate to the black church. Now, I'm not saying anything negative about the black church, but the reality is, when you begin to really connect with the true God, you'll understand God is here. God is not in the building. God is in you.
You are the building.
And everything that you need to get done in your time span of life has already been given to you and is inside of here. You just have to tap into here. And that becomes when you develop a personal relationship with God by whomever, whatever you call him or her.
Right.
But everything you need is already, I believe this, is already in you. You have to activate it.
Let me ask this question. Will we ever get to a period in time where everybody has the knowledge of self?
No.
What happens
Has there
to
ever been a
those?
time?
What happens to those who don't?
You just can't ride the train. Like Harriet Tubman. You going all the way or you just can't get on
They're
here.
gonna miss it.
You're going to miss it.
Do those people deserve and need strong leadership?
I think they need.
What happens to them if they don't have the knowledge of self, will never receive the knowledge of self or the proper understanding to lead and guide themselves? But there are people out here who have the knowledge of self and have the strength and are willing to encourage others in, as far as leadership.
Let me say
Should
this.
they just go
know
willy-nilly?
I know exactly what
Go
you're
ahead.
saying.
I'll let her speak.
Yeah,
We'll go.
I know exactly what you're asking.
I know where you're going with this too.
And that's why for me, like, okay, so the best example I can give is I was a Christian, right? I was in a church for a number of years. It was very legalistic. I learned a lot, right? It was not my introduction to the Bible, but it was my expansion on what we call the scriptures, right? And it furthered my understanding. I, like the Bible says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, like all of that. My thing is people grow. Right? We're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to grow. There will come a time where I am no longer going to need that particular thing. I don't have to go to church to feel connected to Source or to God or to, but somebody else does.
Exactly.
And this is why, right? No, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm coming to that. But that's why I do not attack people who are in church. I'm gonna have an opinion if you come to me, and I'm gonna be straight up about it.
If you ask me, I'm
truth,
gonna tell you.
truth is true.
That's
And
right,
I found
that's
that a lot
right.
of Christians don't know their own Bible. So yes, however, I will not discourage someone from going if that's what they need. When I was in the church, some of us we were in church. There was church Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. And then there was rehearsal Friday or something like that. So it's like 4 times a week you're in church, pretty much. And there are some people that only came on Sundays, and that was probably enough for them. But then there are those that needed to be there Tuesday night, and so there was no condemnation towards that person because that's what they need,
Right.
you know, and to help them evolve. So I hear what you're asking. If there are some of us who may feel like we don't necessarily need a leader, but then there are some of us who's like, I need a leader.
Right.
And but that goes back to knowing self. You got to know self and what you need
Exactly.
at the end of the day, and be honest
Exactly.
about that. Like if you need to be at the mosque, be at the mosque.
Exactly.
If that is what's helping you stay
Exactly.
above, keep your head above water, to stay sane, I encourage it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's a part of your evolution. It's a part of your journey.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And another thing is we have to understand that life is about choices. The choices we make, understand that every choice we make, good or bad, there are consequences and rewards that come with your choices. So I chose. I didn't grow up in a household that was pro-black. You know, I literally, my mom is deceased and God rest her soul, but, and I'm going to share this because I have no shame in it. It is what it is. But I grew up with a mother who was about your complexion or lighter, and you see my complexion. A mother who said to me, I hope you have a child by a white man so I'll have pretty grandchildren.
Interesting.
And some people are like, oh my God, that's what I grew up with. But something inside of me, and I call it God, I knew from an early age how beautiful I was, how powerful I was. And me and my mother bumped heads constantly because she looked like you or lighter, and she wanted to assimilate to America. And God blessed me along my path. As a child in the 6th grade, my brother Lorenzo Nelson had a brother named uncle Uncle Mike from Jamaica, and he taught us what it meant to be black our heritage before America. So I learned, he planted the seeds in me, Uncle Mike. He was the griot. I never knew that until I started getting older. So while my mother was pro-America, wanting to be pro-light, bright, damn near white, that seed from a gentleman from Jamaica who educated me built me up into the woman I am today.
Yeah.
And so I yearn for that dark DNA. I yearn for my brothers and sisters in Africa. So many households are probably like mine. I'm probably saying something that somebody can relate to. That's somebody to relate to, you know?
Agreed.
So I never even grew up going to church. I didn't start going to church till I was 12 years old. And the only reason I went to church is because we exited from D.C., moved to Maryland. A white couple came through my neighborhood and said, we're starting the bus ministry. When they said we get candy when we get off the bus, I said, hell, I'm going to church. I ain't go to church to hear the word. I'm being honest. I wanted to get the candy but through that experience, I connected with God. Thinking I'm going just for candy, the Spirit hit me. So at age 12, through the culture and my learning at that time, I asked God to come into my life. And so it's about choices too. You understand what I'm saying?
I think seeds too, because I'm wondering where you would be today if it wasn't for that Uncle
Mike.
Who planted
And you know what the
seeds
thing about it? When I was in high school, I hung with three brothers, and we were literally, you know, the group Arrested Development. We were Arrested Development before there ever was Arrested Development. We stood out in school because the teachers didn't know what to do with us, and we excelled in everything we did. Me and these three brothers, who are still friends of mine today, we're like this. But the reality is, like you said, that's why it's so important that we who have the knowledge educate our youth today. Wherever you are, drop these seeds of knowledge. Because I am a product. Like I said, I was in Glenard, Maryland, and a brother from Jamaica who was the uncle of Lorenzo Nelson. Here we are. He used to sit us at the footstool and teach us.
Yeah.
A seed goes along.
No doubt.
It takes a village.
It does.
It takes a village.
And you'll find, like, if you, first of all, you have to be willing to talk to the youth, right?
Exactly.
And you'll find in talking to them just how much, like, countering you have to do with stuff that's already been deposited in them. You're like, whoa. You know,
from
early.
I'm
you
know, now, you know, my grandbaby 9 months old, and we looking up infant games on YouTube. I mean, you know, to learn ABC, 1, 2, 3, all that stuff. And I'm scrambling trying to find black faces because I understand how important it is for her, even at 9 months old, to see faces in front of her when she's learning.
It's extremely
from people who
important.
look like her.
When my daughter was little, I did not let her play with white dolls.
Right.
And I'm unapologetic in saying
we don't
that.
realize the importance and significance of that impact.
That's right. It's important
on them children
that they know who they are.
Yeah. And not only that, that's why I've always had an issue with, you know, like I said, you're taking your kids to church. There's a white Jesus on the wall with his hands extended out. The kids are seeing that every time they enter that place.
And those who created that image know
exactly. Because if you tell me if you tell me God's son is white, there's a high possibility that God is white, even though God is spirit. But at that age, you don't understand spirit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? When you're that young, as an adult, we're like, God is a spirit. Right?
But you know what the contradictory thing is? You see that picture and the hands extended, but then you get into the word, read the word. He talks about God having woolly hair, brown skin.
But that image is getting implanted before you can even
read,
learn to read, before you even develop a vocabulary.
Right.
The first I would say 7. They say the first 5 to 7 years of a child's life, what they take in, they take with them for the rest of their life.
Exactly.
Think about that.
It is, and that's
it's
why.
A serious thing.
That's why I did not let my daughter play with white dolls. Yeah. I didn't.
And that's why I think this movie was so important.
No, the movie was
the image.
Absolutely.
The image.
The wardrobe alone.
Oh my God. You know what? It's
the wardrobe.
You know,
give the sister a hand.
And you know, we are spiritual people. When I walked in that movie and I saw I just felt love coming from the screen. I walked out of there like, I was invincible. That's how I felt. Like, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
This is God honest truth. I was in Williamsburg when I saw it for my birthday. Me and my daughter was on spring break, and we went to Williamsburg to chill out a little bit. So we went down there. I was in a dollar store, a Dollar Tree down there in Williamsburg. Little white girl came running up to me. I had my Queen Warrior earrings on. Little white girl came running up to me and hugged me. You know, and just hugged me. I was like, well, ain't this interesting? Her mother was just looking, and the mother stood back and let the daughter come. You know, I just gave the little girl a hug back, because that's what we do in Wakanda.
What did you guys take away from the movie? Because I know we're wrapping up.
Yeah.
I know we talked about the woman characters, but like, what did you take away? I know, you know.
For me, I took away the sense of pride, the unity, the village coming together, good, bad, or ugly. I took away family. I took away black love. I took away understanding of one another, you know, because I think one of the things that black families have a problem with today is facing truth. I sat here today, exposed some of the uglies in my family growing up. But it's freedom when you can say, hey, we were dysfunctional and we're going to put an end to this family, you know, and we're going to get away from this family curse, you know what I'm saying? So we need to say, and you know, some people might say, oh, that happened in your family. Well, you know what? Your family jacked up too.
That's right.
Unapologetically saying. You know what I'm saying? But when we begin to see freedom, when we can let go, release, and say, you know what? That happened. Then I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make a change. We can be family curse breakers right here.
Which is T'Challa. He went into the ancestral realm.
That was positive.
He's like, no, I'm going to do it differently.
Yes, yes, but we have to face it. You cannot change anything that you do not face.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But for me, I think the thing that stood out more than anything else was black pride. You know, the pride that I took. That, you know, look, we can do this.
Yes.
You know, we can, despite everything else that's going on, you know what I'm saying, we have enough resources, enough logical thinking people, enough, you know, morally astute people to turn this thing around for all of us.
I put on Facebook, we can make Wakanda a reality.
Yes, we can.
We can make that.
Yeah.
We can do that.
You know, so that is what I took from this movie.
Yes.
Well, me personally, I was looking at the movie like, okay, someone created the Black Panther hero, right? So I'm like, we need to create more black heroes. Like, can we start doing that and pushing our own heroes?
That's
you know what I mean?
And, or look at the heroes in your community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm saying, and make a book with a cape on them.
That's what
you know
I'm
what
talking
I mean?
about.
That's what I mean by create. We can do that and just push it amongst ourselves, where our kids like, oh, this is this new superhero, and they're going and they not integrated, but they're in these suburbs, and they're going to these schools, and when presentation they're presenting a hero, and they're like, well, we don't know that hero. Well, yeah, Hollywood ain't catch on yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? But this is a hero where I come from.
And that's
you know?
what I do now. Yeah. I've had several people of Caucasian ask me, oh, Wessita, that's such a pretty name. What does that mean? I say Queen of Wakanda.
I love it. Okay, we got to do that, family. We have went over time. And, you know, we can do this when the three of us get together.
Yes.
You know, we can do this for hours. But thank you guys for tuning in to the Empower Hour again. And we'll be back with you next week for another impactful topic of discussion. Follow us on Facebook under Empower Hour Talk Show to get your chime so you can be reminded when we go live next week. All right. Take care, family. Thanks again. Peace.